Aloha, buenas noches, boa noche. Practicing my other languages. So I wanted to hop on here and just say hello and check in with your hearts and see how your lives are doing, and also just kind of communicate some messages that are wanting to come through me. There's actually a lot that I really want to speak to and speak about, but I wanted to give us a chance to drop into the heart, and so I could expand these messages out into the universe, because my heart has been feeling so incredibly, hi Chuck, hi Dana. I'm just sharing about my heart just really feeling expansive and feeling really able to grow because of the personal growth work that I've been doing, especially with the medicine of cacao. I've been doing these cacao ceremonies on a daily basis with myself, and I just made some for myself now for this moment. And I've been meditating with the medicine and just taking an hour to have these deep meditative processes where I'm starting to have these glimpses of my future and of what is coming, and how to hold my energy in these next chapters. And we're in such a pivotal year. When we look at the numerology of 2022, we're just like, this is kind of a dream. This is a dream like happening when you think about it. This year is monumental in our lives. Cacao, cheers. Yes, cheers. This year is monumental, and it really every year is monumental, but this year is very special in particular because we're at this breakthrough point where a lot of people are really realizing that they're really done with living life a certain way, and they're done buying into other people's agendas that really are not in alignment with the highest good of all. So really calling our hearts into being of service in a new way this year, not just like working to get by, not just working to pay the bills, not just manifesting to manifest a cool flashy car and a cool house and those basic things. We're kind of over that stage. It's like, okay, that's cool, but like, what about humanity? What about health? What about well-being? What about cleaning our oceans and cleaning our waters? What about actually giving a shit? So I feel like this is a really beautiful time because we are coming into this pivotal time where we're realizing like, hey, like what needs to shift? And we can't change anyone's minds or change the way things are functioning right now. We can only change ourselves and our daily habits and our daily practices and what we're choosing to direct our attention and focus to. So on a daily basis, it's just noticing your habits, your patterns. This is why I think working in a ceremonial way, like having a ceremonial practice, whether that be just taking time to meditate or having your yoga practice or whatever that is, can help align you through your day with what is important to you. What are your true values? And when you check in with yourself on a daily basis and just checking like, what do I really value? Where do I stand in my reality? That way I can really live in integrity with those things is really important. So gonna have some cacao. Cheers. Hey everybody who's hopping on. Thank you for hopping on. I'm sending y'all all so much love, joy, peace. I hope you're having such a blessed, beautiful day. I also want to tell you, I'm just channeling information here, or just streaming consciousness, whatever. So this symbol is actually about unity. So I want to encourage people to move out of using the peace sign, because the P is actually separating, and it's actually victory over war. Is actually where the sign originated from. Was about victory because of war. So this actually does not mean peace. This does. This means unity. This means coming together. So just throwing that out there. If you throw out peace signs a lot, this is another one of those things to be like, hey, why do I do that thing all the time? What does it actually mean? What does it actually come from? Just really understanding the roots of our own programming and why we do certain things is really important. during this time. So as maybe some of you know, I love to work with dragon energy and with dragons. And there's only so much I can share about this information because there's really not words for it. There's really not proper words to explain what the dragons are doing and the role they serve in my life, but I'm willing to share them more because I do feel like it's necessary for people to understand why this energy is important and what it really is. Because for me, it's actually for the divine feminine harnessing her full-on sacred power without any restraints, without any holding back. To me, that's what actually dragon energy is. One part of it, a big part of it. The dragons help us understand our true power. That's the main thing. So, hi. So I just pulled, I just got these Star Dragon cards, so I just wanted to ask the dragons to inspire some messages to come through for anyone watching who needs to hear. Hey my friends. So yeah, if you have a message or question for the dragons or something you'd like to know about this energy, you can feel free to ask. Okay, so I got vision contemplating the future. And okay, this is really interesting. So a couple months ago, I had a dream about dragons, right? I had a dream about a lightning. This is really interesting, and I was sharing it with a friend last night, and I realized how interesting it was once I was telling the story. So I had a dream about these lightning dragons in the sky, sending huge bolts of lightning to the earth, and they were playing, popping off lightning, and they ended up striking in this particular area. And when the lightning struck this particular area, there was this growth out of the ground that was like this plasma sacred geometry form coming out of the earth. And from that moment, there was a dog that was on fire, a giant fire dog that was running around, and it was just chaotically running around this plasma ship thing that came out of the earth. And hi, thank you. Miss you. Yeah, and it was just like catching things on fire. Oh. Yeah, so this dog was just lighting things on fire, and I had to talk to the dog to get it to calm down, and then it ended up turning into just a regular dog, like what you're saying. Elementals, often reincarnate as our actual animal friends. So anyways, right now in Sedona, the top of Lake Schnebly is on fire. And I watched the lightning strike. Well, I don't know if it started burning when I was in Las Vegas or when I got back. But yeah, so I watched the fire pretty much from Airport Vortex here in Sedona, which, to see a fire like that in Sedona is a little bit like, okay, what is this? What is happening here? And I just want to point this out because it's really important that we as human beings that are actually animated Earth pay more attention to the elements in our reality. Pay more attention to the trees, pay more attention to the animals, pay more attention to the weather so that you can actually have an understanding of what is really going on in your reality and your environment, because our environment is clues, giving us clues consistently. It's giving us signs. So how can we really tune in to these elements? Because the more we can tune in and understand them, we understand that we are one with them. They're not separate from us. And in some ways, we can begin to harmonize and we have an effect on the elements. Okay, the other thing I want to share is that 2 days before this fire, 2 or 3 days before this fire, I experienced the most anger in my body that I have experienced in a long time. I had a lot of anger come up, a lot of fire, and I had to go out into nature alone, and I had to ground this energy, and I had to like let it burn, let this fire like pulse through me. And then just a couple days after that, there's a fire in Sedona, a very obvious fire smoking over the hill. And my point in all this is just to have awareness of our own emotions and how we discharge them, and how the earth and the elements respond, and how they communicate with us. So there is something for me to be fired and angry about, and something for me to realize within myself because of my outer reflection. And I just want to remind you, basically, this is the whole point, is to really tune into that and tune into what you want to feel. Because sometimes, you know, these emotions come through and we can't control them, but we have to allow them to really burn and just come through. If it's rage, if it's anger, just let it come through. We direct it back into the heart though, because it's like a passionate energy. It's like, I'm passionate. For me in this case, it was like, I'm passionate about valuing and respecting myself and my time and my energy. So I have all this passion, this fire that I'm directing into my heart because I love myself. And if I have to come across to another person as mean or angry, like, so be it, because this is my way of loving myself, is allowing myself to experience this energy, this passion, this fire, this anger. Then transmuting it, learning to anchor it back into the earth, root it and ground it, so we can come from a centered place so we're not attacking another person. But anyway, I guess I'm just sharing this because I want you to know that anger is sacred, and it does light fire. It does create some type of response. And I feel like over the next part of this year, we are potentially going to see nature responding more intensely to us. And if we're not paying attention to the signals, we're not getting the hint, then there will be larger things that happen to get people to wake up. So, to their own actions. And yes, we can change this with our intentions and what we want to manifest. This is why it's so important to come together with like minds and to really do the work. And the work is being a human being, being an elemental spirit in a human body that is in tune and aware of one's emotions and of one's reality. Directing energy back into the earth for love, for the sacred, for the pure waters to resurface. But the contamination and the toxicity that we've already poured and dumped into our planet, can that be reversed? It's going to take us some real commitment to get in tune with our own inner technology to reverse the effects that we've already had on this planet. And that's just some real hard truth. And hopefully it gets you to slow down and look at what you're doing and why you're living your life this way. Are you just looping? Are you living your life as a programmed being in society just to make a buck? Or are you living for a joy and experience? Because for me, that's the best thing that I know that I can do personally, is to live my life in joy and in personal freedom, personal liberation, to actually act on my inspiration, not to do what society tells me to do, that I need to get a job and I need to be successful and I need to look a certain way in order for people to accept me and love me, but to actually do things that actually make my heart feel good and that make other people's hearts feel good. And a lot of times it's really hard because it doesn't make any sense and I have no money to show for anything. And I'm like, how am I going to make this work? but somehow it always does, because I'm fully trusting and aligning with my mission. And my mission doesn't have to make sense to anyone except for me. And the same goes for you. Like, it doesn't need to make sense for anyone else except for you, because only you really know what your divine blueprint is. It's anchored in your heart, but you have to learn to access that piece of you through tuning in to yourself, through making that time, that space every day to meditate, to have your own little ceremony, to reconnect, to go out in nature, whatever it is that you feel called to do. It is 100% necessary for you to do that now if you want to live a fruitful life, and if you want to make a positive impact for future generations, and you want to create good karma. Then I highly suggest you do that, because otherwise, if you're not taking that time to get from a centered place, then you're basically you could possibly be controlled, especially if you drink alcohol or use lower energy like substance drugs. You could basically be a vehicle for entities to attach to, and they actually pull you into scenarios and dictate what you're doing for they're feeding off of you, like parasites, basically. This is why this is important. This is spiritual hygiene, and it's real. It's just what is the truth. And it's not about having judgment over yourself or anyone else. It's about just like accepting, like, the same way you need to take a shower and brush your teeth every day to take care of your physical body, you need to take care of your spiritual body by taking that time to meditate, to pray, to get out into nature, to ask for God's protection, especially if you live in a city where there are freaking dense energies aiming at you all day long, trying to control your mind, essentially, to get you to buy into this program, buy into this belief. Oh, we're selling this over here, buy this. And then you basically are giving away your sovereignty, and then you're like, oh, what should I do? Because you're distracted and you forgot about who you are. And the truth is that you're a divine being, but they don't want you to remember that, because they want you to buy into these other programs, so they have control, manipulation over you. And who are they? They're ETs. And but so are we, but we are human, and we have this opportunity to reclaim sovereignty over this matrix, reclaim power over this matrix, and design it to one that suits us. Design it to one that is harmonious, that is actually back to our roots, our ancestors, where we're really more in tune with the elements and nature, and we're focusing on that as a priority versus how am I going to come up and look cool and all this stupid shit that doesn't actually matter at all. I personally have a hard time showing up online on social media all the time, because I'm like, why am I even doing this? But I know, because of other people in my life, other teachers and influencers that I've been able to work with and learn from, I know how deeply they've actually impacted my life and my journey. And so it's like, well, I have the opportunity and I have actually a responsibility to do that, because I know certain things and I'm aware of certain things. I can let other people know about this too. The importance of maintaining your vibration and keeping your energy levels up are really high right now. You're literally being attacked, and don't be afraid. This is why I work with dragons. They help me reclaim sovereignty and power over my mind and over my being. And it's time to call them back to the earth, because they help us. Okay, they help the earth, the planet, the expansion happen here. And I'm just learning how to really, again, I'm learning how to explain this and bring the right words to this. But it's important. I'm going to keep going so that the right tones, vibration, energy is able to come through me, because sometimes I'm just like, can I just speak in energy and vibration? And I'm like, okay, maybe it's time for me to do that. Because sometimes it can make these little clicks happen in our brain where we're like, oh, I'm seeing the picture. I'm seeing the big picture, and it's not explainable with words. So, hey Marina, I just saw you were calling, but I couldn't answer because I was doing this. The other message that the dragons want to talk to you about is accepting loss. I know my Vegas community just lost a really beautiful soul. Chen, rest in peace, my brother. You know, it was hard for me because I've been just, I don't want to say it was hard for me. It wasn't hard for me, but it was sad to see my brother suffering and being in pain as he was dying from cancer over the last couple of years. And it was like, I know his death is inevitable, and it's beautiful that he fought through it and just brought love to others by just being a survivor and sending love. And but yeah, as we move forward, there's going to be more loss. It is inevitable. So it is absolutely important that you learn how to deal with that easier. And the only way to really learn to deal with it is by experiencing it. And, you know, one reason why I work with medicine or in the spiritual realm is so that I can deal with death easier and allowing my own ego to die time and time and again so that I can become less and less attached to my reality, people, my reality, places, situations, things. The easier we can let things go, the stronger and the more embodied we can be as we move and navigate through life. And it doesn't mean not to mourn or experience the emotion of what it's like to lose someone. Like, that's beautiful, but don't let it hold you back from your path. Don't get stuck there and lost there. Allow the energy to move through, and we send these beings on to where they are meant to go, whether that is a new life or another dimension. But it is important, I feel, that if you were close to a soul that that moved on, to maintain a prayer for their soul as they are passing over, and maintain a celebration of their life as well, and just honoring their life, honoring the lives of others is so important. But knowing that the soul lives on, this is something that was clearly reflected to me while I was in Egypt. It was like these beings knew that they would live on for eternity, the afterlife, the key of life. And this is the truth. This is absolutely the truth. I have zero doubts in my mind. Why? Because I have memories. Was that in my consciousness? Because there's a collective consciousness of souls. And it's like we can tap in and tune into those aspects of our consciousness that I believe are ingrained in our DNA and our cells. And this is the God consciousness that is available to all of us, but we each have unique blueprints and unique designs and unique lifetimes that we're able to resonate with and experience because we are created as individuals. And anyways, okay, this is a lot of information, but just wanted to share this. Moving forward with your life, knowing that there is an afterlife. Knowing that there is a future to look forward to. There is only really here and now, but here and now dictates the next moment. And the more we can embody and understand that we do live on and celebrate our lives now, preparing us for the next one, the greater this life will be. And, you know, I just really encourage you to overcome whatever it is that is blocking you from taking that next step towards living your dreams or doing what it really is you want to do in your life. Do not let any bullshit, made up story block you from taking the steps in the direction of your dreams. And if you don't know what those dreams are yet, then take time to get clear. It's because you're not clear. If you don't know what the next steps are, it's because you're not clear. So get clear. Get clear by meditating. Get clear by turning everything off and walking outside. Get clear by tuning in, clearing your chakras through sound, yoga. Hi Alexia. So yes, we have a long ways to go. We have such a long journey ahead, and it's likely to get crazier. This is why it's important to reclaim your sovereignty during this time. Understand that you are not just a body, you are a soul, you are a multidimensional being. There are multiple realities happening simultaneously. You just happen to be here present, tuned into this one. But as you learn to navigate and expand out of this box that you're in, and you can realize that you are so much greater, that you do have power and you can manipulate reality with your thoughts and imagination, then it gets a whole lot better and it gets a whole lot more fun. And right now we're in this great period where we get to have fun. And I don't mean stupid fun getting drunk and not paying attention to what you're doing with your life. No, I mean conscious, aware, fun, pure, innocent, childlike joy that is the best, right? that is fun. Have fun, because there's a lot of seriousness happening, and sometimes we gotta get a little bit serious and be like, no, this is true. This is what's happening in my reality. However, I have a choice out of how I respond, and I get to choose love. I get to choose bliss. I get to choose my happiness. I get to choose joy, and I get to choose to be a cosmic soul that is expanding. My I Am app literally just went on and it said, I'm choosing happiness. But yeah, I'm returning to that I am consciousness, and staying in that space. We're going to do big magical things together, and we're going to create a new network of conscious awakened souls that are doing incredible things for the planet and for the new generations. And it gets to get good. It gets to look really good for us, but we have to be real with ourselves and our choices, and we have to move forward diligently towards what is bringing us joy. Yes. Thank you, Dana. My friend Marina made them. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna tune out, but I just wanted to share that. I'll hop on again live sometime this week for some music, but yeah, I'm just feeling inspired to share more as there's a lot coming in and coming through around the elements. And again, I'm just getting clear how to like communicate these things. But thanks for being patient, and thanks for listening. And if there's anything you want to talk about with me ever, please reach out and message me, because I would love to share information. Mwah. Love to all. Yes. Bye, angel love. Mickey, I love you. But I'm just tuning out.